Hello, everyone. It is I. Yes, I'm alive. So you may be wondering what I have been doing for the past, several weeks or in this case, months. Well, you see, the reason why I have not been doing anything, if I have not been uploading for like a certain time, just know I'm probably working like on a stop motion. Yeah, so that probably like takes the longest time to do. Well, not technically, yeah, technically working on the stop motion, but I'm doing like voices and adding like the sounds and everything. So that's pretty much taking the longest time. So yeah, that's why I have not been uploading or anything. And if you're wondering like why I didn't do this instead of working on the stop motion last, well, I came to a thought. I'd rather work on something like I love than pretty much talk about something I didn't enjoy. And I'm talking about the show. But I did make a poll, and the majority of you guys did want to hear me talk about the last four episodes of The Acolyte. So I am here to indulge in you guys. Also, I want to be sure. The Minecraft video I'm about to show you has like a photo ellipse, but pretty much something about like flashing lights and everything that could cause problems. So if you have that problem, I recommend you just like don't look at the video, just like listen to it. That hopefully you guys don't look at it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. I might even put like something on screen so you guys are aware. And I might like put like there's actually gonna be another section of a Fortnite video, so like you guys, I can tell you guys like when to go to it, so you guys don't look at the photo ellipse. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so episode 1 of the Acolyte. This is episode 5. So it starts off well, but then it just gets a little stupid as it goes on. So here's how it starts. So Osha is pretty much waking up after like being force pushed like by the Sith Lord, who is well, it's the Ezra Miller looking dude. I think his name is Quamir. Quamir, I believe that's his name. But he's wearing a mask, so that's not the big reveal. So kind of just spoiled it, but you're pretty much watching this if you already knew that. So like as she wakes up, she sees the lightsaber fight, and I would say the lightsaber combat in this is all right. Is like it's not the worst thing I've seen, but it's all right. And what makes this all right is because he has a helmet and he has like a wristband, and those are made from Christoph. I cannot speak. So basically, what this does is it stops. It pretty much is like a lightsaber. Well, other than Beskar, it's very effective against lightsabers. So like if a lightsaber hits it, their lightsaber will stop working for a bit. Which I gotta say, it's kind of nice to see that that is actually in a live action. A shame it's in this live action film. But so yeah, the fight's going on. He is killing most of the. He's killing all the Jedi. He kills the Plo Koon looking dude. He him and Yord get into his grapple. I cannot speak for some reason. Him and Yord combat a bit. He does the Sith Lord does injured Yord, and as he is about to kill him, Osha shoots a stun gun at him, which does nothing. I'm surprised it actually does nothing, which is the weird part. Why did it not do anything against him? So anyways, so he gets a little bit distracted by that, and he just like looks at her and is like goes after her for some reason. He doesn't like try to finish off the Jedi who could be a threat to him. So, oh yeah, I do want to mention he does kill a Jedi in a very like a nice way. Like he stabs one Jedi, then he force pushes another one into like the already stabbed Jedi. So I think that was pretty interesting. So Osha is running away, and he throws his lightsaber at her, but straight. So when he does that, Soul comes out of nowhere and deflects the lightsaber, which I'm confused. He got force push like when in the last episode they all got force push like the same way. So I want to know like why was he all the way in some other direction instead of fighting with the other, unless he was knocked out for the longer time. So oh yeah. So they do like have a little confrontation. So apparently Jedi can read minds now. I think that's what I'm getting at. So like his whole helmet deal is like Magneto, so like Charles can read his mind. So that's what I'm getting at. Which I didn't think Jedi can like actually read people's minds. I guess that's what they like got from Kylo Ren and everything. So pretty much Soul tells Yord. Yord gets up and tells him to take Osha back to the ship so they can get out of there. And so Yord and the Sith Lord start fighting. While that's happening, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I said the girl's name, Jackie. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I called her like the I kept calling her like the lady from the first episode because I really was not paying attention to their names and got them confused. So yeah, the lady in the first episode is not Jackie. So I want to apologize for that. So Jackie is pretty much like not there to be seen, but May, the twin sister, she's she takes like the Wookiee's lightsaber. I thought the Wookiee's lightsaber would be at least like big, but you know like how General Krell's lightsabers are. Like I thought like it would be like hard to get it like have a grip on it, but no, she's able to pick it up just fine. So May is about to leave, but then Jackie pretty much ambushes her and starts attacking her. Well, pretty much trying to arrest her, which I'm confused about. They start fighting, but then if you remember in the last episode, she said she was gonna turn herself into the Jedi, but she doesn't do that. And I'm thinking, well, is that because her master is here? Is she that scared? I mean, the logical thing to do is to, like probably like try and help them, like defeat him. But no, she ends up trying. She doesn't even try to reason with Jackie, saying, "Hey, whoa, wait! I'm on your side. I'm trying to help you." But they end up do fighting hand to hand. She does like get one like cuffed on May. Jackie gets like one cuffed on May, and they're pretty much just wrestling. And she does eventually try to kill her. Oh yeah, so let me go back to the Saul and Quimir fight. So in this fight, they're pretty much still going on, and Quimir, the Sith Lord, does get an advantage on him. Like he rolls around, and instead of like going for the kill or doing anything, he disappears, which is the confusing part because that's not the first time he does it. Like he has a clear opening to kill Saul, but he doesn't take it. And I'm pretty sure at this time, Osha and Yord are pretty much running, and Osha says that we have to go back and help them, but Yord keeps telling her, "No, Soul got this." Well, yeah, even if they didn't go back, the outcome probably would have been different. They end up do going back, and yeah, they end up do going back, and I'll explain like after Jackie and Quimir's fight. So back to Jackie and May. So Jackie pretty much wins the fight. She cuffs May, and at that time, this Quimir shows up, and they start fighting. He uses Christosis to like disables Jackie's lightsaber, but then she uses like the Wookiee Jedi's lightsaber to defend herself, and then her lightsaber turns on, and then she just starts using two lightsabers to like overwhelm him. I believe he breaks one of her lightsabers, and he just disappears. He disappears because pretty much May just runs away. Yeah, she's doing that a lot in this episode. And during this time, yeah, Osha convinces Jorah to try and help them, and her plan is to use the bugs in the last episode because I believe they're attracted to the light, which doesn't really make sense to me because they were attracted to like they were attracted to the light. Well, they were attracted to lightsabers. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like why weren't they attracted to the lightsabers? Were they not bright enough? But like there was like a whole bunch of them, unless they were not like that close to them. So, anyways, yeah, May is running through the woods and she's trying to escape her master, and so her master just like appears right in front of her or behind her, and pretty much is about to, I think, about to kill her, but he ends up, I believe he ends up cutting her restraints off. But then Soul and Jackie do reappear and start taking him on. So yeah, as they're fighting, so basically they do like get an advantage of him. I believe something happens to Soul because he ends up being pushed back a bit, and so Jackie is fighting Quimere. So she ends up using the hilt of her lightsaber to break his helmet, which is why they had the big reveal. But before they do the big reveal, he does something with his lightsaber. So he takes out like the hilt and like has like another like mini lightsaber blade, and he stabs Jackie like 3 times, and so Jackie dies there. And that's when it's revealed that it's actually the Ezra Miller looking dude, and I already said his name is Quimir, so I feel like saying the Ezra Miller looking dude is probably like more funnier because he does look like an Ezra Miller, but we'll just call him by his real name. So I don't even think I hear like a no in this entire episode when any of the characters die. That's the weird part to me. So, anyways, let me think. Let me think. Oh yeah. So he has May hostage, like he's about to kill her. Soul doesn't want her to die for obvious reasons. That's gonna be talked about in episode 7, which we won't get into that eventually. So he asks like, what does he want? And Quimir says he wants an acolyte, not an apprentice, by the way. He wants an acolyte, which I'm confused because he's training her like as an apprentice would, but I'm pretty sure that's like, I'm pretty sure I looked it up, and an acolyte is like not exactly an apprentice, but more like probably like what Boba Fett has with Darth Vader. Like, well, what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? Wait, hold on, let me look that up. A person assisting to celebrant in a religious service or procession. One who assists a member of clergy in a liturgical service by performing minor duties. The one who tends or okay. Okay, so technically not an apprentice, but someone who assists them. So after that, I think he's about to kill May, but then Yord shows up using his helmet to pretty much disable his lightsaber. And then Yord like does like you, and I thought they knew each other, but then I literally forgot that they did actually confront him in like episode 2. Yeah, they confronted them on episode 2, and Quimir proceeds to overpower Yord, and he snaps his neck, so he kills Yord. And the odd part is if they actually arrested him in the second episode, that none of that probably would have happened. And also if well, technically Soul probably would have stopped. Would Soul keep fighting if he killed May? No, I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. So let me think. I'm trying to remember all the pieces. Yeah, so Soul pretty much proceeds to fight him. Soul wins his fight and he's about to kill him, but Osha tells him to stop. I don't know why. Like, he just killed all your friends right in front of you and you want him to live for some reason. Probably like some nonsense about that is not the Jedi way. But clearly when a Sith is involved or like some dark side user is involved, their first instances is to kill the Sith. So that technically is one of the Jedi way. I'm pretty sure that only comes to like non-civilians, like they don't see them that much of a threat. But anyways, he is about to start attacking, but then Osha uses the flashlight from her or some flashlight. I don't know where she got that from. And then Quimera gets attacked by all bunch of bugs and everything, and he gets like taken away. Oh yeah, and like during that conversation before she does like the whole her plan and everything, um, he says you shouldn't trust him, and then yeah, he said you shouldn't trust Soul because like I believe he actually like knows like what happens like with the whole witches and everything, and so basically oh yeah, he she confronts him about that, like what does he mean by that, and Soul is trying to say he will explain everything, but he gets stunned by May. And so May and Osha, they have their little moments. Like Osha is still pretty mad at her for starting the fire and everything, and May is just happy that her sister is alive. So like during this process, they do hug each other, but Osha tries to like arrest her, and they begin to fight. But then like at one point, May force pushes like Osha like off of like a very like not very high. No, she like probably like over a step, and this knocks her out. I'm surprised that knocks her out. Like she didn't hit her head or anything, like on a rock or anything. And she just like makes a comment like, "You always couldn't block." She's been she's been cut off in the force, so I wouldn't even say I know the extent of her training. And oh yeah, she proceeds to take her jacket, I believe, or like whatever she was wearing, and just pretends to be her. Oh yeah, she even like uses a lightsaber to cut her hair to make it look exactly like Osha's, which is really really convenient how that works, because one, you have to get all the edges right, gotta get everything right just to match it. So I find it really oddly convenient that you just like have like you just got the full length of hair and everything. Just from that. Just from looking at her, and just like not even don't even go to like a haircut or anything, you just cut your hair just to make it look like that. Not even worth trying. So she goes to awaken Soul. Well, Soul already wakes up, and she, well, May, who's supposed to be disguised as Osha, is pretty much saying she escaped and they're gone. Soul, for whatever reason, can't tell that that's actually May, because like the Force doesn't exist. You can't search someone's feelings, you can't sense them. He can't see the giant circle on her head, on her forehead. That's like not barely covering up her face. Maybe it's not lighting up to anything. And then they return to the ship. And Quimir, who's got done with dealing with the bugs for like maybe about like how long has he been up there fighting them? Like, because like it was a little bit nighttime, then the sun was rising. So was he fighting them for like hours or something? That's a weird thing to think about. Anyways, he sees Osha. Well, yeah, he sees Osha, and then he proceeds to take her away with him. And so, yeah, pretty much the twins just switch. Well, actually, wait, hold on a second. Wait, hold on a second. All May wants is her sister, and I think she was ready to postpone her like whole revenge side quest. So why didn't she just like take? She didn't want to work with her master anymore. So why didn't she like take her unconscious sister away to one of the ships and just like leave them on the planet? Is that? Am I thinking too hard, or does that sound like something that probably should have happened? I mean, that probably wouldn't have taken too long. Like, skip the haircut and then like don't like take one of her clothes off and just like leave the planet with her. I mean, surely like she could. Wait, hold on a second. Wait a minute. She was there, right? Wait, hold on. She was there when. Uh, oh my gosh. Anyways, Quimir finds Osha. Soul takes May to the ship, thinking, yeah, that's pretty much the end of the episode. Okay, we're moving on to episode 2. Okay, so I'm not even gonna try and sugarcoat this. Episode 6 to me was just boring. I feel like nothing happened in this entire episode. It just felt so boring. Like I was like out of all the episodes and like out of everything I saw like in Star Wars, it was the boringest episode to me. So let's start out with this. Um, so like in the beginning, Osha wakes up in a cave to find her wounds completely healed. Um, she finds a dagger and she like explores the island a little bit, and she looks up to find the Quimera looking dude. I mean, wait, yeah, Quimera. That's his name. Quimera just walking around like I think he pretends like he doesn't notice she's awake, but like she sees him and pretty much goes to follow him. I mean, I'm pretty sure she saw the ship, so instead of taking the ship, she decides to like go and see what he's up to. During this time, Soul and May are, well, Soul, who doesn't know Osha, May, well, I can't speak. May, pretty much disguised as Osha, are at the ship. He's going to go contact the Jedi, saying like all his team members are dead. He doesn't say like they were killed by a Sith because like Quimir actually said he was a Sith in the last episode. So yeah, he pretty much he cuts the transmission off, and I think like while that's happening, the power goes off on the ship. May, who's was right behind him, was about to kill him, I believe, but he calls her out because the Force. But I'm pretty sure he can't tell that's not Osha. I don't know how he can't tell that. Well, technically they do act and sound the same because they're played by the same person. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. Like he just like, bro, why can they actually just like find twins and just like cast them as that? That would actually be the logical reasoning for like, having like two twins as an actor for like the two little girls, and then having two twins as the adults instead of having the same actor playing as them both, so like they can give them personality. So, anyways, he tells him to dock at the ship, and he can like for some reason at one instance the power just goes out on the ship, so he can't like send a message. So at Coruscant, some Jedi goes to like the Green Lady, and saying they got a message from Soul saying from the report that his entire team is dead, and they're gonna go to Soul at that moment. Also, some running joke about like as they're getting ready to leave, like there's like some joke or something about like her being motion sickness when going through space. It just seems like an odd thing to add in this. Like out of all the things, they're adding like motion sickness like through space. Like I get people like have motion sickness, but like really, like motion sickness, like that just seems like an odd thing to add like in this. Like I'm pretty sure she's the only character I've seen to like actually like have this problem. Like I've never seen any other character in Star Wars have this problem. Like that's the oddest thing I've seen, and the oddest thing to add in this, because like that literally like is just so weird. Like I've seen A New Hope, I've seen Empire Strikes Back, I've seen Return of the Jedi, The Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, Attack of the Clones, the entirety of Clone Wars, the entirety of Rebels, all of the Star Wars shows. I have never seen a single character like say they like get like they have a problem like flying through space, like of some motion sickness. That just seems like the oddest thing to me. Like if it was some characters or if they're in the comic book or something like that, then sure maybe. But no, I've never seen a character. I've never even seen that. That's just an odd thing to pretty much add or focus on to them. Uh, okay. So back to Osha and Quimir. Osha is following Quimir, and Quimir like goes to like a water and get ready. So Quimir proceeds to like take his clothes off. Yes, he does that, and pretty much like goes in for a swim or like takes a mini bath. And then Osha is just watching him, and she goes to grab his lightsaber, and he makes a comment about like how does it feel to like hold a lightsaber again, and she like goes into a stance, and then he like turns around and like gets out of the water, butt ass naked. Well, they don't show that, thank God. That would traumatize a bunch of kids because I'm pretty sure they don't need to see that. So yeah. So he proceeds to, like put his clothes back on for being in there like about like like 3 or 2 minutes in the water. So Osha still has a lightsaber, and he pretty much just like talks to her, pretty much trying to get her to like join him. Like her sister failed him, so maybe he's gonna try with her. So like while he's pretty much walking back to his base, and while Osha is like walking behind him, we're going back to Soul and May. Oh yeah, and Basil. Yeah, he's pretty much another important character. But I wouldn't say as important. There's like in case you run out of food, you can always grill him. Anyways, so Basil has like the little droid. Pip was it? And so he knows that's not Osha, but he can't talk, or Soul can't communicate with him, or he can't even tell that's not Osha. So he charges her droid up, and I think they tried to make an attempt to stop her. Like he tried like at one moment like when they're together, he tries to like wrestle her leg. I don't know what's going on there. And then Pip pretty much just squirts oil at her. Like I have no idea what was the plan there. Instead of just telling Soul that's not Osha, for the love of God, they May restarts Osha's droid, and then now it's just like evil. Wait, how did she restart the droid again? Like, did she hold down something? I have no idea how she did that. So anyway, Pip is evil now, or just loyal to Osha. I mean, not Osha, May. I didn't do it. My throat's starting to hurt. So yeah, cutting back. I already mentioned the motion sickness. That's what they pretty much got that whole scene from. So Soul is sitting. So back to Soul. Yeah, Soul is sitting back down. He is pretty much contemplating the mission because pretty much your Jackie and all the other Jedi get killed. And May walks in, and they pretty much like have a heart to heart. Well, not really like an emotional scene, but he said he's gonna go face the High Council and tell them everything that happened on Brendock. Yeah, I believe Brendock is the name. And so May tries to like go to tell the Jedi and turn on the the communicator because the power's back on. Then while she's talking, Soul stuns her, and then it's kind of revealed that he knew that was May. I don't know how he didn't like know that was May. Maybe because they act exactly the same, or like they don't like or he probably knows like the giant circle on her head. Maybe that's it. So back to Quimir and Osha. So they're pretty much having a discussion. She makes a comment about you used to be a Jedi, and he said yes, but a very long time ago. And she says how long, and he says a very long time ago. So as they're talking, he pretty much talks about his helmet, and they pretty much do like still have a heart to heart about why May joined him, yada yada yada. So it pretty much tends like to get in her head like about like like how like Yord arrested her. Like yeah, she makes a comment like you killed Yord, and he says, "Well, Yord arrested you." But that's not really a fair argument because Yord and the other female Jedi pretty much it's kind of a mistaken identity. Well, not really a mistaken identity. This like they didn't know Osha had a twin, so yeah, that really isn't Yord's fault when you say that. Like he arrested Osha because he doesn't know Osha has a twin. Like many people will go about that joke saying, "I have a twin brother or a twin sister," but yeah, Yor doesn't know that. Nobody knew that except Soul and people who were on Brindog. And she also said you killed Jackie, and he just said, I forgot what he said, but Jackie was just there. So I believe, oh yeah, Soul leaves the system he was in to like go back to Brindog, and while when he just leaves, and then the Jedi that were like going to like meet him there just arrives there, just like wow, a second later they could have just like saw him leave. So I believe they went down to the planet and just saw like the aftermath of the battle. They saw Jackie's dead body, they saw Yord's dead body, and they pretty much saw the other Jedi's dead bodies. So the Green Jedi pretty much make the assumption that somebody did this. Another Jedi said, well, the Jedi that's with her says, "You don't think Soul did this?" And she pretty much just says, "No, something to tip the scale." So one of the bug creatures who last time wasn't provoked by them, when Osha touched it, that's when it started moving. But I don't think nobody touched it, and it was going to attack them. But that is when we see the lightsaber whip. I okay. I want everyone to be honest. Do you think a lightsaber whip is an effective weapon or something that they really have? Like, would somebody like actually use a lightsaber whip in Star Wars? Like, I really want to know. Like, does that seem like something you'll use? Because I feel like that's an odd thing to use. So, anyways, I think that's another question. Why are there most of the maybe they got turned to temple guards. Maybe that's why I've seen a bunch of Jedi use like yellow lightsabers. Maybe they're just temple guards. Maybe that's why. Okay, so oh yeah, okay, oh yeah, so back to Soul and May. Soul has May like strapped to a table. Is it a table? And he pretty much like confronts her about saying you're going to listen to everything he has to say about what happened on Brendok. And let's see. Back to Osha and Quimir. Quimir talked about his crystal. I have no idea. I'm just gonna call it the Magneto helmet. That's what I think of it because that's how they describe it. So she later puts on the helmet and she pretty much like does like a Darth Vader scene. That's what I got from it. And yeah, that is episode 6. I'm gonna grab water. My voice is hurting from all this talking. So I'll be back in a minute. So on to the next episode. All right, episode 7. This is pretty much almost like the same thing as episode 3. It's a flashback. Wait. I'm like, okay. So, yeah, same thing as episode 3. It's a flashback, but it's told from the Jedi's perspective. So, Brendok apparently was this dead planet and now is flourishing with life. So, they sent a Jedi task force to see how it did it. So while there, Torben, the Jedi who was levitating for How long ago he was levitating? I forgot. I wasn't paying attention to that part. So apparently, he asked, "What are they doing there?" And a young soul said, "They're looking for a virgin." Oh wait, no, they're looking for a virgins. They're looking for a virgins, which pretty much has the power to create life. So, later on, is what's the other stuff really important, or do I? So basically, let's skip to the part where like Soul goes off on his own, and well, Soul doesn't have a Padawan. They make a jab at that. So he pretty much investigates, and as like the beginning of episode 3, he finds May and Osha, and then he also sees their mother, and so he kind of follows them back into the hiding place. So, well, pretty much he is doing the job. He is investigating like what's on this planet and everything. Actually, that's another thing. I haven't seen any wildlife on this. Well, then again, wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Those butterflies are the wildlife. So how come there aren't any other living creatures? Okay. So he pretty much follows them back to their little home, and they are. So they're pretty much. He followed them back to their home, and he's pretty much just investigating. He doesn't go through the door, but he pretty much like climbs on top of the mountain, which means he has to get back down through the mountain. As he's there, he pretty much sees like what the witches are doing, and pretty much he goes about like investigating like what their hideout is and everything. And so like it does like make parallels to like what happened in episode 3 and what happened in this episode. And he goes back to his other Jedi friends and tell them like what he saw there. So I think the reason why he thinks like the girls are in danger, Osha and May are in danger, because they're probably like the only children there. Maybe that's why he thinks they're in danger, because like it's just a bunch of grown-ups and just 2 little girls. I think it would be different if there was more children there, which I'm gonna talk about that later. So basically he tells that to his friends, and though they go to investigate and see what's going on there. So wait, is her name Indara? No, wait. Indara? I have no idea. I have no idea her name. I don't know what her name is. So yeah, they go to, so pretty much the same thing happens. They interrupt the ceremony, and they pretty much go through the they go to the witches. Oh yeah, during like when they were at the entrance, they pretty much did say like the female Jedi, who is pretty much probably like leads the group, is saying she's gonna go in there alone, but Soul advises against that. But she just says it's just like 50 women and 2 girls. But even still, if someone were to say it's just 50 women and 2 girls, 2 little girls, yeah, 50 women can have, one of those 50 women can have a weapon. So I recommend, yeah, going in as a group. And this is this isn't like just a normal like a normal world. This world is like filled with Jedi and Sith, so I wouldn't exactly go in there alone. So yeah, they go in there alone, and they pretty much almost the same thing happens, but then it switches to Torben's perspective, which he begins like getting mind controlled by like the black female lady. So pretty much while they're doing that, he is like getting like mind controlled, and like he gets like possessed a bit. And so yeah, so pretty much yeah, the same thing happens about like them talking about this planet being uninhabited, and they do make a comment about like Soul was watching the girls, and then what else happened? I mentioned he was mind controlled. I mentioned about the girls. They don't mention like they didn't have a father. They what else? Oh yeah, so she released Torben, and then they and the witch and the black lady allows them to test the girls for their force sensitive. But even though they do have the choice not to let them test them. So back on the ship, Torben is pretty much like sitting there a little bit traumatized, because he just got mind controlled. Like his first interaction with them is just being mind controlled. Like even then, that just like makes that's not a very good first impression because they were just the Jedi showed up there like not with hostility or anything. So and the first thing they do is mind control the dude. So not a very good first impression from. So yeah, so pretty much the same thing happens. Soul makes a comment saying he feels like Osha is meant to be his Padawan, and the lady is saying, "Don't let your personal feelings judge your cloudman." Pretty much the same thing. So as it goes along, they made so May fails her lessons on purpose, and just like in episode 3, Soul convinces Osha to pass her trials, and she wants to become a Jedi, which is what they stated in episode 3. And yeah, later on, they test her blood. Yeah, that's another important thing. They take a blood sample of their blood, so and then they are just gonna run like almost like what happened in the Phantom Menace. They're just gonna like run that across like a computer, so they can just see like what's going on, what's up with their blood. So later later at night the female Jedi comes back and she pretty much like tells them that the council would not permit to train the girls because they're pretty much they won't separate them from their family, and their souls become a little too attached with Osha. They get a little bit of debate, so they decide they should not be interfering with the witches anymore. That's when Torben's tablet notification sound. I have no. I'm gonna be real with you. I pretty much forgot some. I remember the important stuff, but like not the majority of all the parts. So his tablet goes off, and it starts reading the girls' like blood samples. So apparently, it turns out that these girls are the same person, but they've been mixed into two. They were separated into two people. And Soul makes the connection that only a virgin can create this kind of power. So Torben says, "This is it. Yeah, you have." Everyone makes the comment saying, "Yeah, you have the proof right in that tablet." But he goes off and tries to kidnap the girls. Yeah. Yeah, it occurs to me that the writing in the show just like it's almost like they want to make the Jedi seem like the bad guys, like forcibly. Like it's written forcibly that they're trying to make the Jedi seem like the bad guy instead of letting it pan out. So like here's how it goes. So back with the witches, the female Jedi chooses to let Osha go with them. Of course, this doesn't like it's not happy with the other witches, and as well as the other mother, who like tells May to make sure Osha does not leave, and then they begin to fight out. They begin to fight Torben and Soul, who Soul chased after Torben. So some of the witches are beginning to are preparing to fight against the Jedi. Okay, so this is okay. We're about to get into some more important things. So, literally last time, May and Osha have their like little squabble. May says, "I'm gonna kill you," and then she proceeds to lock Osha inside her room and pretty much lock everyone else out in their structure. So, Soul and Torben go back to the witch's place, and there pretty much is a standoff. The witches have their bows, and the other mother, the mother who told May to make sure she never leaves, is pretty much has her weapon out and prepared to fight them. The black lady doesn't want to fight them, but well, she is. I think she's trying to make sure a fight does not ensue. That's what I'm assuming. So they pretty much get there. Soul asks questions about how were they created, because they don't technically answer that because the black lady ends up dying. So as hostilities were rising, No, not Osha. May comes out running, saying she started a fight. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? So basically, like they said like she started the fire on purpose. Is that what they were going for? She started the fire on purpose. So like in a moment of pure rage, like she tells her sister that I'm gonna kill you, and then later she locks her in a room, grabs a torch and a book, and like oh it's completely not flammable, and proceeds to set the book on fire and then try to stomp it out. Yeah, no, that's just plain up stupid. They're trying to go for like that Luke Skywalker moment, like in a moment of what did he say? In a moment of weakness, he tried to kill his own nephew. Yeah, no, that was stupid, and that was stupid. I do not agree with that. So basically, oh yeah, the Black Mother. So when May runs out crying about like she started a fire, the Black Mother like does like her body starts evaporating and turning into some smoke demon. So looking at this and looking at May, seeing as well, actually I have no idea what she was trying to do. Was she trying to possess her or was she trying to like incinerate her? I have no idea what she was trying to do. But Saul ends up stabbing her. Now, everyone is saying that the mother reappears when he stabs her, but no, that's not what happens. Saul stabs her ghostly body, her evaporating body that's not there, that shouldn't be there, and she ends up dying. No, she doesn't. She doesn't die just like that. She just dies when her body shouldn't even be there. Like her body's like not physically or like partially there. So like I'm just so confused. Like how does your like body die from that? Because your body's not fully there. And so Soul kills their mother. And that's another thing. Going back to the last episode, I'm pretty sure I didn't want to like mention all that happened in the last episode and this episode. But if May knew that, if May remembered that, why didn't she tell Osha that Soul killed their mother in that episode? That would have made it so much shorter. Why didn't he? Would she not believe him? I mean, would she not believe her? I mean, that thought could have been in her mind and everything. So I don't know why she didn't tell her that. Because she clearly remember. Because she clearly remember. She saw right in front of her eyes that he did that. So anyway, Saul feels guilty, and they begin a fight. The other mother is attacking Saul, but he's trying not to fight back because he just feels guilty for what he done. And Torben is pretty much deflecting bows and arrows of the witches. And so the female Jedi and the Wookiee pretty much arrive at the base, and they're pretty much getting ready to join the fight. So the Wookiee jumps down, and he's ready to join the fight. The fire spreads more, and a big explosion occurs. And the mother witch, the alien witch, disappears. And so they proceed to take over the mind of the Wookiee. So let me get this right. The mother witch and a bunch of other there's like a bunch of other witches who are like about like 20 or 50, I said like about 20 witches are and the mother witch are taking over the mind of a Wookiee Jedi. Now here's what confused me. How come the black lady, it just takes one black lady to take over the mind of like one dude, but it takes like unless they're trying to say is he that mentally strong? Or are these witches just like so weak that it just like takes all of them to do that? So anyways, they do have their fight scene, and it's nice to see the Wookiee Jedi action and like live action, but it's not the greatest. It's nice that we got it, but it's not the greatest. So it's pretty much confirmed that like where Torben got his scars at, and it's from the Wookiee. So the two guys are pretty much struggling, and the female Jedi comes in and pretty much subdues the Wookiee and begins like do a like force block. Oh, and this is one of the problems I have with this. So this one female Jedi, she like uses the force to like block out the witches. So this one female Jedi beats the mother and a bunch of other witches, and they all die from that. No. I do not believe for a second that's how they die. Either, if anyone watched Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, when Charles was in the mind of Wanda, and then like the Wanda from Doctor Strange universe like kills him, Yeah, that would make sense, but I don't see that. But it almost seems like she just blocks them out of his mind, and they all just died. I don't understand that. That's just like that makes no sense to me. Anyway, so Soul Soul pretty much goes back. So she tells Soul to go see if the girls are okay and pretty much go rescue them. And Soul finds them, but and they're standing over a bridge that's beginning to collapse. So rather than like either the girls trying to like go away from them instead of like reaching out with their hands so they don't die together, Soul ends up trying to like uses the force to like hold the bridge together. But instead of using the force to levitate the girls to a safer place, he decides to he decides just to like let May die and just save Osha. That's pretty much what happens there. And so yeah, pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing of episode 3 happens. They Osha becomes unconscious and they go back to the ship. And so like so as they're back to the ship flying back, they're pretty much they're pretty much like disappointed and like shell shocked about like what happened on the planet on Brendak. So Torben is guilty. The Wookiee Jedi is pretty much disturbed because he got possessed, and yeah, everyone is not in high spirits. So they said like Soul was gonna turn himself into the Jedi because for what happened, but the female Jedi said and ruined this girl's life, even though it was even though they pretty much said like they couldn't train this girl because she's had an attachment with their mothers and everything. So they said they decided to blame everything on May, who started the fire, and the fire killed everyone. I'm gonna say the fire did kill those witches because I refuse to believe that this one female Jedi just pretty much just mind blocked them, and they all just died from that. I refuse to believe that. I'd say they died from a lack of oxygen because I highly doubt that's what happened. So yeah, that's pretty much episode 7, and yeah. Also, yeah, no. Before that, what? Why did Torben kill himself? Why did Torben drink that poison? Because they said like he feels guilty, but I'm trying to figure out what is he supposed to be guilty of? Because his first interaction with these witches, one of them mind controls them, and it pretty much this pretty much like makes them like traumatized of them. Like they're like the first interaction, like he gets mind controlled, and that he does not like have a good feeling about them. And secondly, yeah, and they mind control his friend, and that made him get his face. So I wouldn't believe like he would drink the poison willingly. So that's what bothers me. Oh no, I'm pretty sure someone's gonna like say why that happened. Hopefully they do. I hope someone with like knowledge of the show tells me like what happens, and at least try and make it make sense to me. But I still don't like how that happened. Like what was the Black Mother trying to do to May when she was turning into that smoke demon. Anyways, that's gonna be the end. Let's move on to the last episode. Episode 8, the final episode. Is anyone else noticing that most of these shows or seasons just like have 8 episodes and they just call that a season? Anyways, let's get on to it. So the start of the episode, oh yeah, it starts out with it picks back up. Osha is wearing Quamir's helmet. Quamir tries to get close to her, but something's happening. He tries to like go to her, but the same thing happens like with Torben when like Mother Anastasia. I think her name was Anastasia. Did to Torben. So and it happens to him, but he fights it better and he takes off the helmet. And Osha gets a vision that May is going to kill Soul. So Quamir is a little shocked because like he was a little disappointed with her because like she didn't kill any of the Jedi before with the Force or anything. So he's actually kind of surprised that they're going to do something. He's going to kill him without a weapon. That's pretty much his goal. So he's going to go there, but he doesn't know where it is. And Soul, not Soul, Osha and Quimir pretty much like have a back and forth saying Osha wants to go with him and take the ship, but Quimir pretty much probably wants to kill Soul because he is the only one that's alive and knows the secret that he is out there. So if he returns to the Jedi, he's gonna be killed. So I'm back with Soul and May. So Soul pretty much tells her what's happened. Well, I'm pretty sure she knows what happened. I don't think she forgot everything that happened. So like they have a back and forth argument, and May says this that really bothered me. Like Soul said, you lock down everyone in your home and you start that fire, and she says because the Jedi were invading her home. Now that part bothered me because, well, one, they weren't technically invading your home; they just walked in. And secondly, you technically don't own the planet. The planet was basically dead. But they weren't. When someone invades your home, that means they're pretty much they're there forcibly and they're hostily. But they just walked in. They didn't draw their weapons or anything. There was just four of them, and there was like a more than you guys. There were more witches than the Jedi there. They weren't there forcibly, and they just walked in. They were peacefully doing it that and everything. The first person to show hostility was them when they did that whole mind thing to Torban. So yeah, that's what bothered me the most with that line because yeah, the Jedi didn't do anything like, hostile or anything. They just walked in. No weapons drawn or nothing. They didn't even talk rudely to them. No, it was actually the witches who showed the hostility first. So that's pretty much bothered me. So as they're arguing, and Soul tries to tell her the truth about her and Osha, Pib, who he didn't disarm from her, well, I think he thought it was dead, pretty much pickpockets her lock, and she stuns him. And so she decides to run away to an escape, well, not an escape pod, to some kind of ship. And instead of using the Force to drag her back and do a little hand-to-hand combat, he just doesn't do that, and the ship takes off. He then takes another ship and detaches from that ship, and he just starts chasing. May. One thing that confuses me though is how come they don't use tractor beams? Yeah, they didn't do that in the Last Jedi, and they don't do that here. So do they forget what tractor beams are? Clearly they don't, because they do another thing that happened in the comic books, and they have that I don't know what it's called. I can't pronounce it. Sorry. I'm sorry, guys. They have that metal thing that is super effective against lightsabers. So Soul almost pretty much kills her by going through an asteroid field. And Basil, who was just on a ship, I have no idea why Basil is there. He pretty much almost he does disable his ship, and so Soul is unable to capture May. So May's ship crashes and she just walks out completely fine. Soul lands his ship and he pretty much sends out a beacon to warn, get a signal out to the Jedi. His transporter, I believe it's called. The Jedi do get this, but before the Jedi are about to go there, or before they go there, the Green Lady is confronted by a senator who knows about the killings of the Jedi. Yeah, not really a galaxy secret anymore. They know about the killings. Well, actually, the senator didn't know that there was multiple killings until the Green Lady slipped up. I'm noticing that in the episode where in episode 3, the little Osha said she slipped up when she wasn't supposed to tell them that she was failing the test on purpose, and the Green Lady slipped up when she said they were about the multiple killings, and the senator didn't know that. I noticed that part. So basically, the Green Lady says they had the situation under control, and so they pretty much are gonna go to Soul's location. And we're going back to Quimir and May. So as they are going, Quimir asks, does she plan to be his apprentice? Osha says she's not that easily influenced by like her sister, but yeah, well, we already know where this is going. Or if you saw the episode, you already know where that's going. Oh yeah, and as they are leaving, you are never gonna guess who shows up there. It is Dark Plagueis. Yep, I have no idea. Yeah, so I'm gonna be honest with you. The only ever time I have seen, or no, the only time I've heard of Dark Plagueis was in Revenge of the Sith. I never actually seen what he looks like. Yeah, I have never read the books. I just watched the movies and played like there was a no, he wasn't in the Force Unleashed, I believe. He wasn't in the Old Republic, but yeah, yeah, that Darth Plagueis was on that island and was in the cave. So what I'm trying to figure out is what was he even doing there and why was he there? So yeah, Darth Plagueis is just what? Wait, does that mean he's just like creepily? How long? Wait, how long was he just watching Osha sleep during that time? Because I'm pretty sure that's what everyone should be bothered about. So, anyways, they leave to find Soul and May. I don't know. Oh yeah. So yeah, they land there first, and so pretty much Soul is looking for May inside the witch's structure. Yeah, they go back to what's it? I just said the name of the planet. What was it? Dumir, Beknar, Lumnar. I legit forgot the name. What was it called? What was it called? I legit forgot the name. How did I forget the name? Oh my gosh. Okay, anyways, they're back on the planet. Soul follows her to the planet. And Osha and Quimir are on the planet as well. He forgets his wristband, which is I don't know how he forgot his wristband, but he has his helmet. So okay, so they pretty much made it to the front door, like it's still like it was still out of power. And okay, so in Ahsoka, it almost seems like, dude, can the Jedi teleport now? Because I feel like they're teleporting now, which is something I don't think they should be able to do, or don't think they could do. Because Ahsoka, I feel like Ahsoka did, and I feel like Quimir's doing it as well. So anyways, Osha is trying to find her way back. And so Soul is pretty much looking for May. And so he ends up getting confronted by Quimir. And Osha and May end up confronting each other. So Soul and Quimir pretty much have a lightsaber combat. And Osha and May pretty much have a hand-to-hand combat. And honestly, I'd rather watch the lightsaber combat. I do not like looking at the hand-to-hand. I feel like the hand-to-hand combat was a bit not really necessary, if I'm being honest. Maybe if they had weapons, it probably would have been more interesting, but not really. So, anyways, yeah, the lightsaber fight was pretty much more interesting. But there was one part that did bother me. So, Quimir had his lightsaber the opposite direction of Soul, and Soul had his lightsaber on the opposite direction of Quimir. So Quimir, instead of like trying to hit him with his lightsaber, like he could have done that. He could have done that easily. He instead was trying to pull his Soul's lightsaber to his helmet so like it can be deactivated. But instead, like he couldn't just like, oh wait a minute, and take his head off. Like that part bothered me. I don't know why he didn't do that. And so, yeah, with the hand-to-hand combat with the ladies, May ends up getting away and pretty much. Oh yeah, she does tell Osha that Soul killed her mother, even though she was like ghostly and everything, and she died from a lightsaber wound from a ghostly body. I have no fucking idea anymore. And so basically, she does tell Osha that Soul killed her mother, and she like leaves to go and like find him and trying to get him to confess. So as the fight is going on, Soul does a cool like force move, and they do one last strike, and Soul ends up breaking his lightsaber. And I think Soul like was going to kill him, but May shows up and disarms him. Ooh, okay. So as they were fighting, May throws his lightsaber and it ends up like breaking the hilt. What did she throw it on that broke the lightsaber hilt? That's what I'm surprised about. Um, so like, sh- I I think, oh yeah, Quimir like pretty much says, yes, May, use that anger, destroy him, May, destroy him, May. Use the power of the dark side, the Force, to destroy him, May. But May says no. She wants him to confess to the High Council and face for his crimes. Right. So where was this facing of the crimes with Torben, where you forced him to drink poison? Where was that when you killed him down with a knife and almost killed that man, that alien dude with the knife? Yeah. Where was that at? Where was that at? Please tell me. Anyway, um, so as that's going on, she ends up like talking to him, and he ends up like confessing about literally everything. And like, you know how like people like do that like little like eyes like when they're looking in another direction about something, and then they say and like someone's behind them. Yeah, so she ends up doing that and she said like, so you killed our mother, and then Souls ends up saying yes, and then Osha hears that, and yeah, so Osha hears that. She picks up the lightsaber and everything. I don't know why she picked up the lightsaber. So pretty much does confess that he did kill their mother, and Osha, feeling angry, begins to force choke Saul. So she ends up force choking him, and she ends up killing him. And as that's going on, she ends up turning. She does a process called lightsaber bleeding. So if anyone is wondering like why her lightsaber turned red instead of like why was Anakin lightsabers not turning red like during the whole Revenge of the Sith and Order 6016, if you actually like do, there's actually a YouTuber who like reads Darth Vader comics, and you actually go to one of those certain comics. Vader kills like a Jedi, and he has to bleed his lightsaber crystal. So how this works is like the lightsaber crystal like has to be like in full contact, like with the Force and everything. You can't do it through the hilt, so that's why Anakin pretty much didn't have time to do that. And like I said, the hilt was broken, which is and she was like her rage was pretty much corrupting the crystal. But now personally, I didn't grow up reading the comics, so it doesn't bother me that much. But I'm pretty sure that what's gonna bother a bunch of people is people who actually read the books. Yeah, I believe people who actually read the books, because Vader, while doing that, almost died from that process. So that's pretty much that's what's gonna bother people. So, anyways, Osha kills Saul, and as that's going on, the Jedi land on the planet, and then the Green Lady senses. Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. So, like in the last episode, Quimera like has like some like slash on his back, maybe from a lightsaber whip. And all I'm imagining is, did this lady legit just whipped her Padawan, or is it just some accident that just happened? I'm I'm pretty sure it's an accident that happened. Because apparently, what I'm getting from these shows that girls can't do anything wrong. Yeah, okay. So yeah, she senses Quimir, and Quimir puts his helmet back on. Like that's how I'm like convinced it's like some Magneto kind of thing. So she senses you, and then they go inside the temple. Why didn't they just like land? Why can't they just like land people on the temple? Like, is their ship like? Is their ship like not like designed for that or anything? Like they can just like drop people off on that. Why do they land like so far away? I'm so confused by that. So they begin running. May takes her to like pretty much like what oh yeah, Empire Strikes Back. So like if anyone saw Empire Strikes Back and you remember how Luke escaped Vader, he pretty much falls and he ends up getting like sucked into like some tube. Yeah, that's how May ended up like getting. May fell and ended up like getting sucked into like some tube. Wait a minute, hold on a second. She started a fire and blew up a bunch of generators. How was that still working? No, wait, no, seriously, how was that still working? What exploded and what power was still there that she ended up getting saved in there? All right, never mind. So they end up escaping through a service vent, and the Jedi pretty much find Soul's dead body, and they find another mess. The Green Lady stays with Soul's body, and the other Jedi begin hunting for. Oh yeah, they reunite with Basil. Basil. I have no idea Basil's purpose anymore. So, they're pretty much hunting for them now. So, oh yeah, they end up back at the tree where they were at kids. And they pretty much go through like a whole motion of forgiving each other about everything that happened. You know, I don't remember if she said she apologized for starting the fire and almost killing her. You know, like what a loving sister would do. And Quamir shows up and is saying, "We have to go. The Jedi are hunting you." And so, I don't know what caused this, but they said Quamir, instead of like stay together, they wanted to go their separate ways or something like that. So Quamir says, "I can erase her mind, May's mind. He wants to erase May's mind so they can forget about those two." Oh no! I think May said something like, "You let my sister go, and I'll train to be your apprentice." Yeah, and I think that's what like Quamir said. I can erase her mind so she can forget you and me. Yeah, so rather just all three of them going together and just escaping, and they just go our separate ways. Quamir can just get a new apprentice somewhere, and the two sisters can just like leave. I mean, the Jedi aren't close to their ship, so they can definitely lose them. I mean, it's not like they could like do the whole like Darth Vader thing, like what he did in Kenobi, and like force the ship down like with the Force itself. And plus, when I really think about it, he can just take the lightsaber Soul had and just pretty much just kill all the Jedi. I mean, he did that like literally in the last two episodes like that I saw. So I don't think he has a problem doing that, unless these Jedi are very skilled. But I don't think that stopped him before. Yeah, it's really stupid. It really stupid. He doesn't have to erase her mind. He can just they can all just leave on the same planet and go to the same ship. Like there's no Jedi at the ship, I believe. So, anyways, he erases May's mind, and they pretty much escape, and May is left with the Jedi with her erased mind. So, anyways, the erased May mind meets with the Green Lady. The Green Lady tells her that Soul killed her mother, and she is going for the council to tell them everything about the events that has happened. Oh, and this part bothered me the most. This, I believe, has to be the dumbest shit I have ever heard. Now, listen to what I'm about to say. Listen to what I'm about to say. Now, everyone, listen to what I'm about to say. This tells you how stupid this is. Okay. So as she is speaking with the senators and the chancellor and everything else, she says that on Bredak. Oh, I remember the name. I remember the name now. So she says like 4 Jedi were stationed on Brendock, and they pretty much discovered a force cult of witches. And during one of those, and there was a conflict between them, and they killed all the witches. She says, and I rewatched that part of the episode. She says that Soul, with the truth threatening to come out, Soul killed all his friends, and then killed himself. No. Notice if she blamed her friend. No. In the first episode, she said my friend, and in this episode, she said he was the most capable. And what else did she say? She said nice things about her friend, and so she's blaming these killings on her friend. What the fuck? No. Okay. Literally in this, she is blaming everything on Soul, which is here's why this is stupid. Here's why this is stupid. Because in episode 1, May kills the female Jedi in a public area. She's in a public area and she kills them. No one's gonna believe that. If the senators like post the story out that Soul killed these Jedi, the people on these planets like, wait a minute, that didn't happen. No. The female Jedi died by a black lady, not an Asian dude. So, and here's what's more stupid. Because if the Jedi know about that story, the female Jedi who I confused that was Jackie, she knows about that. The Trade Federation ship that was holding Osha knows about that. The prisoners know about that. So there are more than a few people who know about this. Yeah, that's how stupid this plan is. That's how stupid her plan is. And not even that. In the second episode, where they went to the other planet, The Jedi on there know about that. Some of the citizens know about. The little girl knows about that. Who May hired to distract the droid at the door. They know about that. So no one is going to believe this. No one's gonna believe this. Like, her plan is fucking stupid. It fails before it even begins. Like, if they come out, if they, my throat. If they say something about the story, it's not gonna work, because if they say Soul did it, they're not gonna say, wait a second, no, it was a black girl that killed these people. They're not gonna believe that. That's how her plan fails before it even begins. That's how. That's how fucking dumb her plan is. It fails. Like, I don't know how many times I gotta say it. It's just so fucking stupid. It's dumb. Like, if anyone else thinks about it for a second, I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, it doesn't work. It does not work. So anyway, Soul is blamed for the killings of his friends, even though there's more than enough evidence that says that May killed those people. I don't know why she's covering for her. Quamir and Osha are back on the planet where Darth Plagueis is, and they're holding hands or something like that. I'm pretty sure they're saying they're gonna be dating or something like that, and Darth Plagueis is gonna watch them do it. I have no fucking idea anymore. And what else? Oh, and oh yeah, there's like I think there's a post-credit scene. I don't think there's a post-credit scene, but in some scene, it's Master Yoda. Yeah, Master Yoda shows up. Like, she's about to talk to her about the whole events, and Master Yoda showing up. Yeah, no, oh yeah, he doesn't say anything. Master Yoda does not say anything. Unlike Darth Vader, like in Tales of the Empire, he just walks in and sits on the throne. Yeah, Master Yoda was just sitting. They just pan the camera down and to see Master Yoda's head and his ears just twitch. He doesn't do anything. He does not do anything. So he's met a. Now technically they don't know about the Sith because Soul never says anything about that, but they know about the incident. But still, nah, that's it. That's the Acolyte. And honestly, I wouldn't recommend this show to anyone. I wouldn't recommend this show to anyone. If some kid said that he was wanting to get into Star Wars, and he said he was going to watch it in timeline order, I would say skip the Acolyte and just watch the Phantom Menace and onward. Do not watch the Acolyte. This show is a fucking abomination. Like, literally everything. I've never seen a show this hated. And if you don't believe me, in case you didn't hear, this show got canceled. That's how, because nobody was watching it or because everyone was hating it. That's how bad this show was. I'm pretty sure somewhere out there's a group of Star Wars fans that tortures other Star Wars fans by making them watch the Christmas special. They have found a new torture technique. It's basically letting people watch the Acolyte. My throat's hurting. I've been talking too much. I'm raising my voice too much. That's it. That's the Acolyte. Don't watch it, and don't even remember it. Honestly, it's not canon. I'm gonna say it's not canon. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of it. I hope you guys. Well, well, technically, if I say I hope you guys enjoy, did you guys enjoy this video or did you guys enjoy talking about it? Anyway, that's it. Have a nice day. I'll see you guys later. Bye.